हाय डियर बच्चों, कैसे हैं? हाउ इज इट गोइंग विथ यू ऑल? जूलियस सीजर, गुड? Are you able to understand everything? Let's hope you are able to. And even if you're not able to, you still have lots of time to read, learn again, go through the videos again, and ensure that you understand. If you have any problems, you can write to me, your very own English facilitator for ICSE English Text Julius Caesar Standard 9. So shall we start from where we left? We left at Act 1, Scene 2. The last line that we left at was, as easily as a king. Did you find it? It is as easily as a king. Line number 160 of Act 1, Scene 2. Let's continue. Brutus. That you do love me, I am nothing jealous. What would you work me to? I have some aim. So अब यहाँ पे ब्रूटस बोल रहा है that he is telling Cassius, I know you love me. I don't have a doubt. I'm not jealous means, I'm nothing jealous means, I don't have a doubt that you love me. But what you would work me to means what you are going to induce me into. मतलब तुम मुझे क्या कांडी लगाने की कोशिश कर रहे हो, ये मुझे पता है, थोड़ा सा पता है. I have some aim, यानी I can assume. So what you would work me into, what you would induce me into, I have some aim. How I have thought of this and these times, I shall recount hereafter. मैं इसके बारे में बाद में सोचूंगा. I will think about these times. I have already thought about these times when Caesar would be crowned as a king or when he would become all powerful. But I will think about all that later. And at the moment, for this present, I would not so with love, I might entreat you, be any further moved. So at the moment, at present, I want to tell you that please do not press me any further, and I will think about what you have said. What you have said, I will consider. What you have to say, I will hear with patience. And find a time both meet to hear and answer such high things. Yani at the moment, I am willing to think, means to consider what you have told me, and I am still ready to patiently hear to what you have to tell me, and then I will think about what you have said, and then I will see what action needs to be taken. Till then, my noble friend. So here Brutus is calling Cassius his noble friend. He's saying, till then, my noble friend, chew upon this. Means think about this. अब Brutus बोल रहा है Cassius को. Chew upon this means think. सोचना है इसके बारे में. क्या सोचना है? That Brutus had rather be a villager than to repute himself a son of Rome under these hard conditions as this time is like to lay upon us. I want you to see in your textbooks, there is an explanation given over there. He says, repute himself first, you can understand. Repute himself is to take pride in himself. So he's saying Brutus would prefer to be a villager. यानी मुझे एक गांव वाला villager रहना ज़्यादा पसंद होगा than take pride in being a citizen of Rome under the oppression that is likely to take place in near future. यानी किसी के रूल के नीचे मैं दब जाऊं और मैं ऐसा रोमन सिटीज़न कहलाऊं, इससे अच्छा है कि मैं अपने आप को एक गांव वाले के हिसाब से देखूं. So I would rather be a villager than pride myself into being a citizen of a city, means of Rome, which is under the oppression of a dictator's rule. Cassius, I am glad that my weak words have struck but thus much show of fire from Brutus. So Cassius is saying, मुझे शांति हो गई. I am glad, I am happy that my words, my weak words, means जो शब्द, मतलब I am not that great an orator, लेकिन मेरे थोड़े बहुत जो शब्द जो मुझे बोलना आया, whatever little words I could speak, my weak words have struck a match, means I have been able to ignite a fire in Brutus. Fire in Brutus means I have been able to make Brutus show some enthusiasm. Re-enter Caesar and his train. And his train over here means his followers. Train doesn't mean chuk chuk gaadi, it means his followers. The games are done and Caesar is returning. Games are over means the course has been run और Caesar अब वापस आ रहा है. Cassius, as they pass by, pluck Casca by the sleeve. अब Cassius is telling him that when the entire procession is going, तो Casca को पीछे खींचना. ये कौन बोल रहा है? Cassius बोल रहा है. किसको बोल रहा है? Brutus को. किसको खींचना है? Casca को. So Cassius is telling Brutus that when they pass by, please pull back Casca. What is the reason? क्यों उसको बुलाना है? Casca को क्यों पुल करना है? And he will tell us after a sour fashion, tell you what had preceded worthy note today. मतलब उसके खटास भरे लहजे में, उसका लहजा यानी कास्का का लहजा खटास भरा है. इन ए सावर फैशन यानी खटास भरा लहजा. तो उस लहजे में वो हमको ये बताएगा कि वहाँ पे क्या क्या हुआ था. So now here he is telling in a sour fashion. Over here by the word sour fashion he means that Casca has a cynical manner of talking. Cynical manner. Now Casca is basically a cynic. Who is a cynic? A cynic is a person who believes that people always act out of selfishness and there is no pure selfless love. People will always act because they have a selfish motive. They have an axe to grind. So this is what a person is called a cynic. Such a person is called a cynic and Casca is a cynic. So Casca has got a sour fashion. Khatas bhara lehja. So he will tell us whatever we need to know that has happened today. Brutus, I will do so. But look you Cassius. हाँ ठीक है, I will do that. But Cassius देखो, the angry spot doth glow on Caesar's brow. Yani Caesar seems to be angry and all the rest look like chidden train. Chidden train yani scolded children. जैसे हम बच्चों को टीचर्स स्कोल्ड करती है ना, तो कभी कभी बच्चे स्कोल्डिंग से डर जाते हैं. तो डर जाते हैं तो कैसे दिखते हैं? तो बोलते कैस्का देखो, ब्रूटस इज टेलिंग कैशियस देखो सब कैसे दिख रहे हैं. दे आर लुकिंग एज इफ सीजर इज लुकिंग एंग्री. So as if Caesar is a teacher. Caesar is looking angry and the rest of the people, they are looking like scolded children. Okay. California's cheek is pale. California, Caesar ki wife, she is looking very pale. And Cicero looks with such ferret and such fiery eyes. Ferret is a rat-like animal. Undir jaisa, चूहा. उंदर इज ए मराठी वर्ड. सो चूहे जैसा मतलब वो चूहे जैसा दिखता है. कौन? सिसेरो चूहे जैसा, फेरेट जैसा दिख रहा है और उसकी आंखें पूरी लाल लाल हो गई है. सो सिसेरो लुक्स लाइक अ फेरेट विथ सच फेयरी आइज. वेल यू सी आई एम फ्रॉम मुंबई. आई एम बॉर्न एंड ब्रॉट अप इन महाराष्ट्र. सो इट इज़ ऑब्वियस कि कभी कभी वो मराठी वर्ड्स अंदर घुस जाते हैं. हम लोग रैट को मराठी में उंदिर बोलते हैं, तो वो उंदिर जैसा दिख रहा है. उंदिर यानी चूहा. सो ही लुक्स लाइक अ रैट. एज वी हैव सीन हिम इन द कैपिटल बीइंग क्रॉस्ड इन कॉन्फ्रेंस बाय सम सेनेटर्स. सो हियर ही इज सेइंग सिसेरो गुस्से में दिख रहा है. उंदिर जैसा मतलब लाइक अ रैट मीन्स, लाइक अ फेरेट मीन्स ही इज लुकिंग एंग्री. एंड वाई इज ही लुकिंग एंग्री? हिज एंगर एंड हिज आईज आर सिमिलर to what he looks like when they are sitting in a conference with all the senators of Rome, and if some senators argue with him, so when he is opposed in debate by some senators, then his eyes become fiery. So he's saying, see, he has got that sort of a thing. So now what are the things that Brutus has just noticed? You need to make a note of that. So the first thing Brutus notices is the angry spot on Caesar's forehead. So he's saying Caesar looks angry. The rest of the children, they look like as if they are scolded children, the rest of the people. California, Caesar's wife, looks ekdam pale. She looks like scared and pale. She looks pale. Cicero, he looks like a rat with red eyes, and he looks like this when people, the senators, cross him in debate. Means when he is opposed in debate by some senators, Cicero has these red eyes. So these are the 4 things that Brutus has noticed. Please make a note of that. Cassius. Casca will tell us what the matter is. Caesar. Antonius. Caesar. Now Caesar says, children, please learn these lines. These are very good. Whether they are asked in your exam or not, that is secondary. But learn them for the sake of the love of Shakespeare. Shakespeare so beautifully draws up the character traits of people through his actors or through his players. That is a typical style of Shakespeare, that he will make one of the characters of the play describe the characteristic of men which are true even today. That is the beauty of Shakespeare. So now see what Caesar is saying. He is talking to Antonius. Let me have men about me that are fat. मतलब मेरे इर्द गिर्द ऐसे लोग रहे जो मोटे हो. Let me have men about me that are fat. क्यों? Why? Sleek headed men means I want sleek headed men. मुझे कैसे लोग चाहिए मेरे इर्द गिर्द? I want people who are fat, people who are sleek headed means जिन्होंने अपने बाल को ठीक से बनाया हो. And such as sleeper nights means those who can sleep soundly at night, जो रात को चैन की नींद सो सकते हैं. मुझे ऐसे लोग चाहिए मेरे इर्द गिर्द. So I want men about me who are fat, who are sleek headed and such as sleeper nights, who can sleep well at night. Yond Cassius, वो देख उधर Cassius. Yond Cassius has a lean and hungry look. Lean यानी thin, patla. He has a thin and hungry look. He thinks too much. बहुत ज़्यादा सोचता है. He thinks too much, and such men are dangerous. So Shakespeare has very beautifully drawn up for us over here a characterization of what people may be. Please learn this. Antony. Fear him not, Caesar. He is not dangerous. He is a noble Roman. Well given. So Antony still does not suspect Cassius over here. And in fact, he is telling Caesar also that don't fear him. He is a noble Roman. अब Caesar क्या बोलता है? Would he were fatter. Oh, I wish he was fatter. मतलब मोटे लोगों के दिल में कुछ गलत नहीं रहता है. They are frank. Would he were fatter. But I fear him not. मैं उससे नहीं डरता हूँ. किससे? Cassius से. Yet if my name were liable to fear. लेकिन अगर सीजर को किसी से डर लगता है तो I would avoid Cassius. मतलब तो मैं Cassius से डरूंगा. This is what he's saying. Yet if my name were liable to fear means if Caesar's name means fearless. The meaning of Caesar is being fearless. But he's saying if my name Caesar was liable to fear, then I do not know the man I should avoid so soon as that spare Cassius. So if I was liable to fear, then I would avoid Cassius. Now why he would avoid him? See again the characterization of Cassius is given by Caesar himself. This is a quality of Shakespeare that he makes his players, his actors tell the character traits of another actor. So here we have Caesar telling us the character traits of Cassius. Beautiful. See. So soon, he reads much. यानी वो बहुत ज़्यादा पढ़ता है. He is a great observer. He reads much. He is a great observer. That means he observes. He talks less. He observes more and he talks less. He looks quite through the deeds of men. Means he doesn't only see the external actions of men, he also sees the intention of those external actions. So he looks through the deeds of men. He loves no place. मतलब उसको कोई sport पसंद नहीं है. As thou dost, Antony. He hears no music. He does not like music. ही सेल्डम स्माइल्स, वो कभी कभी हंसता है, हंसता ही नहीं है. और जब हंसता है, एंड स्माइल्स इन सच अ सॉर्ट एज इफ ही मॉक्ड हिमसेल्फ एंड स्कॉन्ड हिज स्पिरिट. मतलब he doesn't smile or laugh wholeheartedly. He does it in a very as if he's smirking. You know the meaning of smirk? Like, that is called a smirk. As if he's mocking himself and as if he's scorning his own spirit. That is called a mocking smile. So this is what he's saying. That could be moved to smile at anything. Such men as he be never at heart's ease whilst they behold a greater than themselves. ऐसे लोग, such people like Cassius, will never be at ease in their hearts. When will they never be at ease? They will never be at ease when they see a person greater than themselves. They will never be at ease. And therefore, they are dangerous. I would rather tell thee what is to be feared. So first he tells him why Cassius is dangerous. Shall we label all the points again? हम लोग फिर से एक बार करेंगे कि Cassius क्यों dangerous है, ताकि आप लोग उसका नोट बना सके. सबसे पहले he reads too much, बहुत पढ़ता है. He looks through the deeds of men. He is able to see the deeds of men. Then he is a great observer. That is the second point. He is a great observer. He looks through the deeds of men. He loves no plays. He hears no music. He seldom smiles. And such people as him, they are never at heart's ease when they see somebody greater than them. So these are the points why Cassius is very, very dangerous. You are supposed to write this in English. So even though I have explained it to you in Hindi, please try to understand what we are talking, because it's an English paper. Now Caesar is saying, I'd rather tell thee what is to be feared than what I fear. So Caesar actually is scared of Cassius. See what he's saying over here. I would rather tell thee what is to be feared than what I fear. That means actually he is afraid of Cassius. Very clearly said. For always I am Caesar the fearless. You can add that word over there. Caesar means the fearless. So he is saying that because I am Caesar, I am fearless. So my dear Antony, I would rather tell you the traits that you should fear in a human being rather than tell you that I fear Cassius. यानी मैं आपको ये बताऊंगा कि किस चीज़ से डरना चाहिए. मैं ये नहीं बताऊंगा कि मैं किस चीज़ से डर रहा हूँ, क्योंकि मैं तो सीज़र हूँ और सीज़र निडर है, फियरलेस है. Okay, now he's telling Antony, come on my right hand, for this ear is deaf. यानी इस साइड से, लेफ्ट साइड से वो डेफ है. तो बोलता है आप इधर आओ. एंड टेल मी ट्रूली व्हाट डज दाउ थिंक ऑफ हिम. सो सेइंग मेरे ईयर में आओ और मुझे बताओ कि व्हाट आर यू थिंकिंग अबाउट कैशियस. ट्रम्पेट साउंड, exeunt Caesar and his train. Casca stays behind. अब कैस्का क्यों पीछे रह गया? क्योंकि उसको पुल किया गया है पीछे. कैस्का, यू पुल्ड मी बाय द क्लोक, वुड यू स्पीक विथ मी. ही इज टेलिंग ब्रूटस, तुमने मेरा स्लीव खींचा, मुझे पीछे किया, आपको क्या बात करनी है मुझसे. वुड यू स्पीक विथ मी. ब्रूटस, आई कैस्का, येस. टेल अस व्हाट हैड चांस टुडे दैट सीजर लुक्स सो सैड. व्हाट हैज हैपेंड? व्हाई सीजर लुकिंग सो सैड? व्हाई? यू वर विथ हिम, वर यू नॉट? अरे, you were with Caesar, no? Were you not with Caesar? Why are you asking me? I should not then ask Casca what had chanced. So Brutus is saying, if I had been with Caesar, then I would not tell you what has I would not ask you what has happened. Okay. Casca, why? There was a crown offered to Caesar. So he's saying what had happened? That there was a crown offered to Caesar. And being offered to him, he put it by with the back of his hand. And thus then the people fell a shouting. So he's saying what happened? Caesar had been offered a crown. And when Caesar was offered a crown, he pushed it back with the back of his hand. And every time he pushed it back, people shouted, "Yay! Hail Caesar! Caesar! Caesar!" Those were the shouts that these people had heard. Okay, you remember when Brutus and Cassius were talking, they said, "Oh, we hear some shouts," and then they were discussing what the shouts were for. So now Casca is telling them that the shouts were that Caesar was offered the crown and he pushed it back with his hand. So Brutus, what was the second noise for? दूसरी बार क्यों चिल्लाए? Why? For that too. Same reason. Caesar put the crown back. They shouted thrice. What was the last cry for? Why? For that too. For that only. That means 3 बार उसको क्राउन दिया गया और तीनों बार उसने धक्का मार के उसको पीछे कर दिया. Now Brutus, was the crown offered to him thrice? Aye, marry, was it? And he put it by thrice, every time gentler than the other. And at every putting by, my honest neighbors shouted on the top of their voices. अब देखो कास्का यहाँ पे क्या बोल रहा है. Children, this is an example. This is an example of anachronism. I have explained to you earlier what is an anachronism. No? Okay. Anachronism is something, I'll explain it again. It means to use something of the present times which was not actually present during the time when the play was taking place. So here Shakespeare has used this anachronism where he is adding something which was present during the time of the writing of the play, not when the play was happening. So not during Julius Caesar's time, but at the present time. So what is this? By marry. Marry over here is an oath. Like you said, I swear upon God. So like that over here they are saying by Mary. Means, by, say it's given to you over there. By Mary, the mother of Jesus. So it is an oath taken that by Mary, the mother of Jesus, I swear that he put the crown back thrice. So you can write over here that this is an example of anachronism. And this oath was used in Shakespeare's time when he wrote the play. Not by the ancient Romans who were not Christians. So please remember, the ancient Romans were not Christians. And this oath was used at the time of Shakespeare when he wrote this play. So now what is Casca saying? By Mary, I swear upon Mother Mary, the mother of Jesus Christ, that Caesar put back the crown 3 times. But he's saying, I also noticed that every time gentler than the other. यानी क्या है कि हर बार जब उसने क्राउन को धक्का मारा तो पहली बार उसने जोर से मारा. So he pushed it back with great force. The second time when the crown was offered to him, he pushed it back a little gentler. And the third time the crown was offered to him, he just sort of little pushed it back. So every time the push behind was gentler than the earlier one. And who offered him the crown? Why? Antony. Tell us in the manner of it, General Casca. So now he is seeing, Brutus is seeing that Casca is not telling them properly what has happened. So he is trying to muscofy Casca and saying that tell us now please what has happened. कैसे उसको crown offer किया? Please let us know. I can well be hanged as tell the manner of it was mere foolery. It was mere stupidity. I did not mark it. I saw Mark Antony offer him the crown and yet it was not a crown. मतलब वो crown था लेकिन वो crown नहीं था. It was a small coronet. What is a coronet? It is a small crown. वो दिया हुआ है आपको. You can write, add this. It is a small crown. It is a chaplet made of laurels. Laurel leaves. The leaves are made and it is encircled like that, to which a band of white cloth is tied and then there are leaves put all around it. So it is a chaplet which is made with laurel leaves. He put it by once, but for all that, to my thinking, he would have been glad to have had it. Fain to have had it means he would have gladly taken the crown. Then it was offered to him again, he put it back again. But to my thinking, he was loath, means he was reluctant to not take the crown. Then it was offered to him the third time. and he put it back the third time and refused it, and the mob hooted and clapped and the crowd was so happy. Caesar does not want the crown, he does not want the crown. And so much so that they shouted, and when the mob shouted, their breath was stinking, because the mob had a stinking breath. And he's saying because of that smell and that stinking of breath, Caesar swooned, means Caesar fainted, and he fell down. For mine own part, I did not dare to laugh for fear of opening my lips and receiving the bad air. तो बोलता है मैं तो हंसा भी नहीं, क्योंकि Caesar actually fell down. He swooned. मतलब he fell down and he fainted, but I did not laugh because I was scared कि अगर मैं मेरा मुंह खोला and if I laugh, then that dirty smell will come into my mouth. So I refrained from laughing. So here we have a full description of the crown being refused by Caesar 3 times. And 3 times, as Casca said, that he put it back in a more gentler manner. Now what was this gentler manner? वो Casca ने हमको अपनी speech में इधर बताया है. What was the first time? I will do it with you again. पहली बार क्या हुआ? जब उसको crown दिया गया, children please see, as I told you, he put it by, but I think that he would have gladly taken it. So पहली बार जब उसने crown refuse किया, actually he would have taken the crown. Okay, then it was offered to him for the second time. So second time क्या हुआ? He put it back, but I think, who thinks? Casca thinks. But I think that he was loath. That means he was reluctant to put it. तो पूरा धक्का ना मार के थोड़ा सा धक्का मारा. So showing his reluctancy. So for the first time, he just showed that he was glad to have had it. Second time, he showed that he was little reluctant to have given it back, and then for the third time he did put it back, but when he put it back the third time, the mob shouted. So I think we should stop over here so that you get a chance to read everything, to understand everything. And those of you who are taking the help of Hindi language, please remember that I am speaking in Hindi just for the sake of a more clearer explanation to those of you who may not understand English very clearly. Otherwise, it's an English paper and it would do you good to understand the English meanings, learn what is given to you, because your paper is in English and not in Hindi. So please understand the English language that we are using during our regular modules. And with that, I, your English facilitator for the ICSE text Julius Caesar for class 9, sign off for the day. Happy learning. Wish you all a very good learning process. Bye.